When did Simulmedia launch, and can you tell us a bit about what kind of work you do?
Sure. So we're about a year old. We launched in the fall of 2008, and our our focus is to help drive viewership for television marketers, particularly the marketers for programs and networks. And what we do is we license anonymous aggregated set-top box data from television operators. And we build models to determine how to better deliver the on-air program promotions that we're so used to, but to deliver them in a way that's actually more relevant to viewers and is likely to actually help inform viewers better of the programming that's available, and ultimately to drive more viewership to the shows that they're most interested in. Anyone that watches television today knows that we all get the same promos for the same shows way too many times, and that doesn't have to be the way it happens in the future.
So could you go into a little bit more detail about how you decide which promos should be fed to
Sure.
which viewers?
Some of it's pretty simple. I mean, television for the last 30 or 40 years hasn't had to worry too much about really optimizing the way that it promotes shows. If you're a television marketer, you had a lot of audience already on your network, and if you did a pretty good job informing people that already watched your network the new shows coming on, then you could be pretty certain that you were going to have good ratings for your shows in the future. But with the explosion of new channels and new choices, that's no longer the case. So we start actually looking at what kind of preferences that the groups of people have for television shows, and we try to cluster them according to that. And one of the simplest ways is geography. In the United States today, virtually everybody, no matter where you are in the country, gets the same promos for the same national shows at the same time slot, the same day, and the same program, same time. But our viewing interests are quite different. The movie theaters know that. In fact, the movies that are available in one theater to the next from neighborhood to neighborhood are quite different. The video rental business knows that. The blockbusters from one block to the next block will highlight different films because of the diversity of interest that you can find by geography. Yet today, the same program promo goes in Bangor, Maine, as in the Upper West Side, as in Brooklyn, as in Malibu, as in Waco, Texas, and there's quite different interests. And so we start trying to better understand what kinds of interests viewers have by geography, by time of day, by day of the week, in some ways separating the person from the program and trying to understand a little bit more about what the person's interested in.
So does that require that a network have several different versions of the same promo?
No, in some cases it's just which show that you promote. More and more networks have to promote their shows off their own channel. So we see a lot of out-of-home, bus stops, billboards, phone booths, and more the television networks are buying time on other networks to be able to promote their shows. And there's a lot of techniques that can be used to deliver better marketing, to determine, to promote different shows by geography or time of day, or to find audiences in places that you wouldn't expect them, maybe to recognize that the best way to reach audiences that are interested in a 10 p.m. primetime health-themed drama is actually maybe a lot of them are on watching Saved by the Bell college years at 7 a.m. on TBS. You wouldn't know that from any kind of rule of thumb in the industry today. You wouldn't know that from genre lookalikes. You wouldn't know that from demographics. But if you look at set-top box data, you can start discovering when different kind of audiences are on television and what kinds of things they're interested in. And you don't have to know anything about the person. It's just being able to start building broad, projectable rules based on that. And so we are able to do that. We're able to come up with more optimized ways to deliver better marketing, and I hope and think it actually is going to improve the experience significantly for the viewers themselves.
How granular do you get with the set-top box data, and are there issues of privacy involved?
There's absolutely issues of privacy involved whenever you're dealing with consumer data. So from a granularity standpoint, we're dealing with aggregated data. This data can be associated or clustered according to set-top boxes, but we have no idea where these set-top boxes are. We don't know, except broadly inside of geography, we don't know by any means any personal information. So the most important issue or question is really, can you deliver much more relevant marketing and promotion to viewers without having to know personal information? Yes. And number two, you have to do it also in a way that you're also not going to be creating a spooky or creepy environment. I think that's one of the challenges a lot of companies in the advanced advertising applications are going to have. There's a big difference between trying to improve the effectiveness as it exists today relative to trying to be perfect. Because trying to be perfect, meaning delivering an ad to someone because you know that there is a lease for a luxury car that's expiring this month in this household, and changing the ads just for that household, that's a whole different world. And that's something that I believe and hope that the companies that get involved with that are going to think long and hard about before doing it, number one, and number two, not doing it until they have absolute full notice, provided the consumers with notice of what they're doing and choice to participate or